everybody. Welcome to RV Travel Talk. My name is Charlie Grace with Charlie Grace Adventures. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited about it. As you can see, my co-host back here is Rosie Bell Dog. We're going to have a fantastic time. I want to thank everybody who's been shouting us out and sharing us out there. So if you would like to share this out with your friends, we would really appreciate it, because if you travel and you love RV life as well as I do, and tonight's special guest, we're going to talk about food. And you know, I love me some food. So I'm so excited about this. But let's do a couple little cleanup things. I'm going to make sure I put this in the chat. Make sure you guys know if for some reason I make you giggle, smile, or have a good time, or you learn something new and you want to contribute to the Smile Fund, just to let you guys know what we use our Smile Fund for and what we're going to be using it for the next 6 weeks. I bumped into some amazing people on my travels that were retired gentlemen who worked for the United Auto Workers. And they don't all work for the United Auto Workers. Some do, and some are actually retired teachers. They are actually building ramps for people with disabilities that need mobility and to get out of their homes, allow shut-ins and things like that. These are specifically in the Ohio area, and I'm really excited about meeting these guys. Just a chance encounter, sat down with them. There's going to be a great video about it. Can't wait to share it with you guys, but that's where all of our super chats and super stickers are going to go for the next month. So just to give you a little heads up, very excited about that one. Let's see who we have in the chat today who is here. Let's see our good friends. We've got Gracie and Jock. Hey! How are you guys? Very happy. Hope Jacques is having a good time. I can't wait to hear all about your van that you're building. That's really cool. And I've got my buddies Adrian and Ruth. Thank you so much for being here. Johnny, lightning, bring in the lightning. Hey everyone, it's getting cold. Where are you? Yes, it is getting cold. Winter is coming. So get prepared, guys. Break out those 12-volt blankets and things like that. Here's my friend Bree. Thank you so much for being here. And Mo Bang, good to see you as well. Hey, Travel Trailin'. Good evening, Charlie Grayson. Hi, everybody. You know what? If you haven't checked out his videos, they're pretty darn cool. I'm really jealous that he got to go to Banff not too long ago. So very cool. Well, without further ado, I want to bring up some people, because I got to tell you, I've learned a lot. And if you haven't seen these videos and you haven't checked out this channel, you really need to, because you know me, foodie, but they've got some cool ideas. So hold on a second. Let's bring up our special guests. Hey!
Hello!
Hey. All right, so I got to tell people, this is really exciting. The name of your channel is
GF Explorers.
GF Explorers. Now, I got to say, first time I met them, like, what does the GF stand for? I came up with a tons of ideas. Wow. I'm sure it wasn't right. But now that I've watched everything, and I'm like, oh, now I'm so excited. So
it actually, whatever you came up with is right.
Yeah, because everybody's GF is different. Our GF is first and foremost gluten-free, secondary good food, and then you can go from there. You know, good friends, gone fishing, whatever your GF is. But I am gluten-free and dairy-free. Have been for since 2007. Yeah. Yep. So it started as a cooking channel, and then we kind of morphed it into some RV life stuff when we went out on the road. But the GF is always gluten-free, Eliza, because I always am.
I love it. I was like, I got to figure this out, but this is so exciting. I love this. So I'm a foodie, and anytime I can learn new things, I'm always down for that, because I love trying things and tasting different stuff. But I want to go backwards a little bit, because we're going to put the food on the side. We're going to go the RV side for a second here. What made you guys decide to go RVing?
Ooh. It's my fault.
Yeah. No, it's not your fault. It's somebody else's fault. Do you want to tell a story? I'll tell a story. Whatever.
You start the story. I'll fill in.
Okay. Back in 2015, we started a business, a gluten-free commercial baking company, which we had in Denver. It was going like crazy good, crazy good, crazy good. February 2020, we had to close it. Really, really horrifying for both of us. We were sad. We were dejected. We thought we're just going to sit around and wait to die. And then we're just like, okay, now's the perfect time to go RVing.
Yeah. Let's sit and wait to die in an RV.
And so we put together a 2-year plan. And we pretty much kept to that. And we left in April of 2022. We figured we had nothing else.
Nothing holding us back.
Yeah. And we realized with that situation, that loss, it was a big loss, that life is short and you've got to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And the year before, the year before we started RVing, we started the gluten-free cooking channel on YouTube, the GF Explorers, because our company was gluten-free, and we felt like we still owed the gluten-free community something. Yep. And so we shared all our recipes. We shared even more recipes. Now I don't know what we have, like 300 recipes up there. We just keep sharing recipes, but that's how we got started. But Rich, in a previous life, RV'd for what, 2 years?
Yeah. So I actually full-timed way back in the day in 2005 through 2007, which is what got me to Denver. I left Michigan back in 2005 with the idea of being on the road for 2 years to find where the next place was to live.
Mhm.
And interestingly enough, the RV world was very, very different then. There was no remote work back then.
Yeah.
There wasn't as many families with kids out RVing back then as there are now. It was mostly retired people.
Mhm.
And it was, so I had a beginning date and an end date. And at the end of that end date, I was going to live somewhere, and Denver, Colorado was the place that we chose to live. Or
Not a
I
bad
chose.
place. Not a bad place to end up. I'm just saying.
Not a bad place
No,
to end up.
and lucky for me, because then we met, what, 5, 6,
Aw.
7 years later.
Yep.
So it all worked out. So, but
That's
he had all the experience of RVing. I had never.
You hadn't even set foot in an RV.
No, I had not. I'd never camped. I'd never done anything. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this, because it sounds like fun. But it's something I've always wanted to do. I just kind of, you know how sometimes you intuitively know you're going to like something. I intuitively knew I was going to like RVing, and I do. It's been a little over a year and a half, and I like it.
Yep.
So.
And so the whole reason for the 2-year plan was when we decided to do this, our son was still in high school. So part of that 2-year plan was getting him through high school.
Right.
And, during that process, it was the whole rig selection process, truck buying process, getting rid of, we are truly full-time RVers. We sold just about everything. We have a 10 by 10 storage unit with a few keepsakes, momentum,
a bunch of my paintings.
Yeah. Victoria's painting, things like that. But for the most part, we do not have a home base. We have a mailing address, and I mean, we have everything we own is self-contained in this rig.
Yeah, we roll with our entire life's contents.
That's amazing. Okay, we got a couple comments in the chat. It says, when you live on rice, I'm gluten-free all my life.
I would like to say I don't live on rice, but rice is part of rice flour. Yeah, white rice flour. And
you gotta love that.
I use mostly white, not brown rice flour in my baking. Yeah.
And we got some new people who just joined. TNT RVing is here.
Hello.
Yay, good to see you guys. And I think Stanley McFall, the Southern comedian, just joined as well. Thank you so much for being here. So I think it's interesting, because I think one of the questions I always had, he had some experience and you did not. And you guys did not exactly pick, I'll call it a roughing it kind of RV. No. You gotta, so to explain what kind of RV you have in your setup, you said what kind of truck and what kind of RV?
Sure.
Okay, well, we have a Van Lee Villano, about 43-foot 394 RK, which you are looking behind us. That is the rear kitchen. But we chose that model for very specifically because we cook. I mean, we literally cook 95% of what we eat. We don't go out to eat a lot because of my situation with the gluten and dairy free. And we also love to cook. And we also wanted to make sure that we had a cooking space that we could do our cooking videos in too. And so it has all the conveniences of a house. I mean, dishwasher, washer and dryer. I mean, we wanted to live like we were in a small apartment, not like we were in an RV. And we also run a business other than the YouTube channel. So we're in the RV every day, 8 to 10 hours. We both need a workstation. So this RV really fit our lifestyle very, very well.
Right.
And then you talk about Stella.
Yeah, and then Stella is we name everything, by the way. So
this is Howie. This is Howie.
This is Howie.
Howie, the house on wheels. Okay.
Yes. And that's how we named him. He is the house on wheels, so he is Howie. Stella is the truck, and Stella is an F-350 dually to pull. Howie's pretty hefty. I think he weighs 19,500 pounds, fully loaded.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a beast, and so we wanted the proper truck to pull Howie. So that is our everyday driver.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
very nice.
Yeah, we are not roughing it whatsoever.
So when you're a camper van person, like poor old little me, and we're like, when it's time for a potluck, I'm like, I'll bring the paper products. I rely on you guys to cook.
Yeah, we have the kitchen. I mean, you can see it behind us. I mean, we have an island, we have a stove, we have an oven, we have a residential refrigerator. it's not quite as large as our kitchen in the house that we were in, but it's close. And we've cooked for multiple people in this kitchen. I mean, like 30, 40, 50 people.
We've cooked for 40 people in this kitchen.
Yeah, and we cook for ourselves, and we love it because we cook all the time, and not just dinner. I mean, we're cooking lunch, we're cooking breakfast, we're just always cooking.
And thanks to the YouTube channel, we carry a lot of gear with us. So we have a regular propane grill. I have a pellet smoker. We have a Blackstone. We have a wood-fired pizza oven. So we're adding up. We have real wine glasses. We have,
real wine glasses. Yeah.
And that's, that creates its own challenge because, when we do move, we have to pack those and they have to be packed correctly. So that's a choice that you make when you're out on the road. Do I, nothing wrong with eating off of paper or plastic. I fully endorse it. But, when you choose to do that, you have to choose to be able to pack it up when it comes time to move.
Yeah, because this is life. This isn't in my mind. It's not a vacation. It's not like, for a few days we can do this, but we wanted to live as much like we wanted to live. Boy, that
it's your lifestyle. This is how you live.
It's our lifestyle.
It's your lifestyle. I get. Okay, now I've heard these wonderful things about your RV, but I want to know: is there one thing you would want to change or tweak? Now that you've been in it for a while.
Nothing.
No.
Absolutely perfect. We have been to RV show after RV show because I don't know if you know this, but Van Lee ceased production on their fifth wheel line in January of this year. Yeah. So we were at the Tampa RV show right after that happened. And we're like, okay, if we're going to get a new RV, let's go find the RV that we want. We didn't find anything that we loved any better than what we have. We just were at Hershey. Same thing. We absolutely love our rig. There's not a single thing we would change.
And our rig selection process, which is kind of chronicled as our channel kind of started to morph from a cooking channel to an RV channel. We were probably the dorkiest RV searchers ever because we literally would go to and the salespeople didn't know what to do with us, I'm sure, because we would go to the RV and we would sit there and visualize what, because we knew we were going to be working 8 to 10 hours a day in it. I mean, we visualized what is the day, where am I working? Where is Victoria working? How are we making lunch during the day when one of us is on Zoom? And so
just how we move through the rig. So we did a lot of visualizations to actually put ourselves in the rig so we could see ourselves living in that rig. Yeah. And so because we did that, we were pretty sure we picked the right rig. And of course you don't know until you actually start living in it. Right. But we're happy to say that we picked the perfect rig for us.
We really did.
And there's not a rig out there I would buy. I mean, Howie is amazing right now.
That's what everyone wants to hear. I mean, it sounds horrible, but when you get a rig and you go to the shows, and you're like, oh man, I wish I had that, or oh, I wish I had that. And when you can honestly say, I'm good. Yeah, I got exactly what I needed.
And we've got 2 RV shows under our belt now, Tampa last year and then Hershey most recently. And we tried, we're like, okay, let's assume we're getting rid of our rig this week. What do we get? And we couldn't find anything that is better than what we have right now.
No, there was a Riverstone front kitchen, which we have some friends, Headish World, who we just adore. They have one, and we got to see it in person at Hershey, and we just, their rig, which is really wonderful. And we went to tour the one at the show. It's close, but it's just missing some of the it's just this rig couldn't be more perfect for us. It's like we designed it, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of did. We added stuff, but other than that.
And everybody says there's got to be something you don't like, and honestly, there isn't anything that
nothing. I look. There's nothing. Not a thing.
It's good. That's a good thing. Like I said, it's fantastic when you're happy. Johnny wants to know when your next cocktail party is so you can show up. So.
Hey, if anybody is going to the Tampa RV show,
we will be there.
And we will be there. We love to feed people. It's our thing. So just let us know you're coming. RSVP. We'll have cocktails and appetizers
and food. Yep, absolutely, without question.
I've been known to make s'mores martinis. I'm just saying.
Oh, that sounds good.
That sounds really good.
One of those really fun things. All right, guys. Speaking of going to shows, though, what is your favorite travel snack?
Oh,
we
got a new thing.
We got a new thing. I would say applesauce. I had an applesauce fetish for like 3 or 4 months last year. But we were at a Lippert Scouts rally in Michigan, a very small one. And this woman, and I wish I could remember her name because I'm terrible with names. Anyways, she was gluten-free too. And she told me about this little hot box thing that it is a hot plate, and then it has a little container, and it's a box, and you can plug it in either by a car charger or in our truck we have an actual 110 outlet, and it keeps stuff hot all day. And so I immediately bought it because it sounded really good. And so now that is our go-to on travel day is we make sure the night before that we cook a meal, that we have enough leftovers. We put it in this thing, and it's sitting on the floor under my feet because I want to be very protecting of it. It's like I want to make sure the food doesn't go anywhere. So, and it keeps it so hot. And so we have a hot meal on travel day.
So nachos and street tacos, that's our travel snack right now, is hot stuff. When this thing is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
You had me a taco. You had me a taco.
Right? It's tacos.
Yeah, you keep all the warm, the stuff needs to be warm in there, and you have the cooler for the cold stuff. You go to a rest area, break it all out, you're having tacos.
Yep. Okay, we've got people saying they're going to be at Tampa. Ruth and Adrian will be there, and our TNT will be there as well. But Gracie has a question, because I hear this more than once, because people ask me the same thing. So if you love your rig so much, why do you go to more RV shows?
Great question. Because rigs change every year. And
we want to see what's out there. We go to RV shows, I think, the first and foremost for the community, to meet other content creator, other RVers. Right. Because, let's face it, a full-time RV life can be very, very lonely. And you don't get a lot of chances to connect with people. And so at the RV shows, it's like this big connection fest, which we absolutely love. And it's cool. It's a great vibe to see all the new RVs. And it's fun. And we also do content. We create content from looking at the RVs and touring them and stuff.
And all the new gadgets, the new technology. I mean, things are constantly changing and evolving, and it's just fun to go see all that.
Yeah.
Did you see the fifth wheel with I think it's an office in the front. I don't remember which limb. Did you see that?
It was a Riverstone.
Really interesting.
Oh, and that secret door
behind
thing?
the secret door. Yes.
We didn't do that. Short. We need to do that.
That was cool.
Yeah, and then
cool
Montana, Tampa
has a front office.
A front office one too, which was very, very small. The Riverstone just blew away the Montana, but the Montana one was still nice too. But we like to see those things.
I'm still a purist. This sounds horrible, because I do believe that families need to go camping without the distraction of work. I mean, I get that part, because there are people who need to have that and get away for the weekend and spend some time with the family, as opposed to, but for people who are living on the road, it's a different situation. So I like to see the best of both worlds. It's really cool. Okay. Here's a hard, I know we just talked about your really cool hot plate, but I want to know if this is it. So what are some items that you cannot live without in your RV that you travel with?
Okay. I'll let you go.
Yeah. It's internet.
Good
High quality internet. And not just mostly because we're working on the road, right?
If we weren't working, that would not be first.
I don't think that would be. I would say then it would be our kayaks.
I don't know, but the gas,
the fire
pit thing is just the most amazing thing we bought in the last year.
Can we have two answers?
Of course, absolutely. Yeah.
So the first answer is because we work internet, and that's both Starlink and cellular internet, because
can't just have one.
You can't just have one. It's one has to back the other one up. But not working, I would say our gas fire pit has been.
Oh my God! It was the best $89.99 I ever spent RVing. It's just, you want fire, boom, it's on. You done with fire, boom, it's off.
Well, and you don't get the fire pit smell either. So some people, you go outside. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's been very nice. I mean, we and I don't know if you realize. I don't know. People probably do realize, but it got to me. It's like, how much money are we spending on firewood? It's like, what? We need 2 bundles of firewood to have a really good fire. Oh, that's like $20 later. And then you want to fire 3 times a week. It was getting very expensive to have real wood fires. And so it's much less expensive to propane is for this. And it's just so wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. Like I said, for people with long hair who don't want to wash their hair all the time camping, it's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
There is that too. Yes, that is a very good point.
Okay, we got a couple comments here, which is fun. So Johnny Lightning, bless his heart, he's like, okay, we need a Charlie Grace get together at Tampa. Dude, yes. I'm with you. We need to do something. We're gonna have to get this. We're gonna have to get this all organized and let people know when things are going on. I know
we'll do the street tacos.
Yeah.
Ooh, tacos.
We love feeding people tacos.
It's a good thing. I love this. Okay, speaking of recipes and food, what is your most popular recipe video?
Well, it depends. Okay, our most popular short was our guacamole short. Our second most popular, which is going to surpass our popular, was just straight up American tacos. And then the sleeper, which I never thought is our most popular, one of our most, we have some baking, short like gluten-free pizza crust, gluten-free bread. Those are top ones. But I did one last year. It was mayo-less coleslaw.
Oh,
that thing is killing it.
Super popular.
Yeah. And I never thought I would like a mayo-less coleslaw because to me, mayo is its own food group and should be included in every meal. And but we just made it the other night too, and it's
on
like
tacos.
Yeah, and we were both eating it out of the container, the leftovers, and it was all gone. It was so good.
So I'm going to ask a question. I know you're not prepared for this, but I sort of want to know this. What brought you into the gluten-free, anti-dairy? I don't say anti-dairy, but no dairy. Like, was it a personal choice? Was it a health concern? What brought you there?
It was just feeling sick all the time. So in 2007, no matter what I ate, I felt sick. I mean, if you want details, it was all gastrointestinal. My stomach would bloat up like I was 2 months pregnant. I mean, constantly. And at that time I was doing a lot of business networking. And so it was like, okay, well, if I eat this, then I'm going to, it was just horrifying. And so I just decided to take matters into my own hands. And back then, healthcare wasn't what it was today. So I kind of had to figure it out myself or have some crazy pre-existing for the rest of my life. And I discovered that gluten was causing me problems. And then a couple of years later, after I stopped gluten, I realized that dairy was also my issue. So, I mean, I could eat gluten and dairy, but I would not feel very good. And so I don't, because I like to feel good.
I was going to say, if you figure out what the triggers are, that's fantastic. That's a huge thing because there's so many people in America or actually the world who have digestive issues and other things. If you can find something that works for you, fantastic. And the fact that you're able to help those who are really trying to navigate, I think it's a really tough thing when you're used to cooking one way and then you've got to sort of shift and think in a different way. The fact that you guys have, and I'm going to say phenomenal because I tried a couple phenomenal recipes. I think it's just awesome. I really do. So I praise you guys tremendously. So thank you for doing this for not just for you, but for other people out there. Cause I really think you guys need to go check out their website. Like I'm going to share this while I'm thinking about it. Let me share my screen. Here we go, guys. If I can get this correct. As soon as I say this, there it is. They have a website, just so you know, it's gfexplorers.com. You guys can take a look at that. You can look at their gear. You can look at all that good stuff and take a look at their website. See what you guys think. Give them some feedback. Go and watch one of their videos and see if you can find something that you really like that might be interesting to try to eat and make it home. Pick a special day and go to the grocery store and get whatever you need. And if they can cook it in an RV, you can cook it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
In our video, I mean, we have videos for every recipe, and the recipes themselves are very step-by-step. When I write the recipes, I have a veteran of many recipes online for years and years and years. And recipes are usually just guidelines, and but many of the recipes that I would find over the years online once I made them, they weren't very good. They weren't all that. Let's just say.
And those recipes don't have to be made gluten-free either. Many of the pasta dishes that's right there in the Italian sausage and gnocchi. You can make that with regular gnocchi. So they do not have to be made gluten-free.
No, and you can make them non-dairy free as well. Yep. But I'm very, very specific about how I write the recipes because I understand that not everybody is coming from the same place that I am, the cooking skill that I have. And sometimes recipes can be very confusing. You've got lots of steps in one little paragraph. And so I try to break them up so that because I want people to learn too, because when you can cook for yourselves, when you can cook amazing food that you think that you can only get in a restaurant, your life will change.
Yes.
And that's and when it comes to the gluten-free world, that is especially for families. So you may have one person who has to be gluten-free and the rest of the family is like, I don't want to eat that crap. That is this and that is that, and I won't do it. And so the gluten-free person feels very, very isolated. Yeah. But when you can cook amazing food that your entire family likes that happens to be gluten-free, then you win. I mean, and that's our goal, is to show people how, some of our recipes are a little, I won't say complicated. They're all very flavor forward, but they're not that difficult. And it's really easy to make delicious food. You just have to make that commitment. And when you're gluten-free, you have to make that commitment anyways, because you just can't buy stuff.
And we want cooking to be fun, not a chore.
Yeah.
So it's, get a group of people together and make a batch of street tacos on the Black Stone, and have beers or margaritas or wine or something like that. But make cooking fun, not a chore.
Yeah, cooking is an event. It can be a fun. But if you're responsible, because I was in my previous life that I was gluten free, I was responsible for dinner every night.
Mhm.
And when I had to go gluten free, it was tough. It was to lose an entire food group. And I mean, you have to grieve that. I mean, on the website somewhere is buried the 3 stages of gluten free eating. I mean, there are stages you go through when you have to go gluten free, and the first one is not pretty. It's
Here.
just isn't. Yeah. But once you get there, and so most of our recipes now are targeted toward people who have been gluten free for a few years and are looking to really expand their the amount of different foods that they eat, the different recipes that we do, because this is for the rest of my life. I can't just like, oh, I got like 10 recipes I'm going to eat for the next 3 months. And it's like, and then what? Yeah.
Then what? Yeah. You're not stuffed by Panda Express. I think I tend to get in the habit of doing a lot of eating out. Love it's through convenience. Not exactly the best foods I could do.
Exactly.
I know when you cook it and prep, it takes time. So this is something a lot of people think, I've got to plan and take time. And we learned through the pandemic that we lost toilet paper, rice, and pasta. Those are I guess the 2 things people could cook and something they really needed. But they didn't know how to cook. And it's really something that we've lost as far as teaching our children, teaching our families. We've really lost that whole art and science. And there's a lot of science to cooking. There's a lot of really cool stuff. So
there is, and I think it's the community. And I think what you said about cooking with families. I think that's a loss when families don't cook, because it's such a opportunity to get the family together, to work together to create something. And I think it's very, very magical. I mean, one of the things we love to do with our son is cook together. And when he was little, when he was smaller, he was like, we're trying to teach him all this stuff. He's like, I want nothing. But now he's almost 20. He's coming to see us in a few weeks, and we're probably cook most of the time. Yeah, and we're going to have fun together. And cooking is about community. It's about sharing. It's just a wonderful thing. And I hope that more people do that. But every grocery store we go into, one of the most popular places in the grocery store are the ready-to-eat meals.
Oh yeah,
and the little counters. We got so fortunate. I don't know if you know about the grocery store chain Wegmans.
Oh yes.
Okay. Well, Wegmans has been a chain that we're grocery store like nerds. It's like when we get a new one, we're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. When we were in Hershey, there was one in Harrisburg. So we drove to Harrisburg, and it was like, I don't know, what a biblical event for us. It was amazing. It was the greatest grocery store I've ever been into. But in that store, I'd say a good third of that store was ready to eat. They had the pizza area, they had the sushi area. Well, sushi is okay, that can be in every store. But they had all these areas that you don't even have to cook.
Yeah.
And our society has gotten to the point where most of us don't cook. And I do think that's a loss. And if we can help even one person cook that didn't cook before, then I will feel good about that.
I think I'm going to be adopted. I'm just saying. I can feel it. I know where this is coming from. Down deep inside, I have a problem with goldfish crackers, but we'll talk about that another time. Okay, so we're going to do a rapid fire because we're tailing in. This is sort of fun, right, guys? I want to know this because other than the food stuff, I want to know what's your bucket list travel for 2024. What do you guys got going on? Where are you going to go?
Oh, East Coast.
Okay.
Northeast Coast.
Northeast is our big thing for 2024.
Yep.
Okay,
very cool. Any particular season that you're thinking, or just doing the whole East Coast?
We're doing summer. We have pretty much summer.
Boston and north.
Yeah, in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, wherever we can fit our rig, which will be limited places. But we're very excited to go there. That's an area you've never been to, right? I've been there like 30-something years ago, so it's about time to go back.
Yeah.
But we're super excited about that. The first part of 24 will be in Florida. We're staying in Florida until like the middle of April. I hope that is not a mistake.
I think you'll be fine, considering there's going to be lots and lots of bad winter, they say. So I think you're actually doing a smart thing. Just so you know.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm going to be there as well. I'm going to be up and down between Alabama, Florida. We'll figure this out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's not a far drive, Alabama.
It's
Florida.
still a 10 hour something. It gets you there.
Yeah.
So as we're talking about campgrounds, because you do have a bigger rig, what are some good campgrounds that you've stayed at? I know there's always bad ones, but do you have a couple of good ones that you've really liked?
Ooh,
Well,
yeah.
I don't think we have had a bad campground in the year and a half that we've stayed in.
Mm-mm.
Nice.
Not at all. And I will chalk that up to me spending what,
A
30
lot of
to
time.
45 minutes before I
Yeah.
choose a campground. I'm on RV Life. I'm on Google Earth. I'm looking at that stuff. I'm
Look-
like,
yeah,
look, reading all the reviews.
Look at the uploaded pictures.
Yeah.
Read the reviews, read the comments for
So-
sure.
So are you, and that would be a good question. So are you a member of any kind of campground membership or group that has campground discounts?
No, we Good Sam, and we
Okay.
just do everything through RV Life. We're not Thousand Trails members because we don't want to be limited. We
Right.
want to be open and free.
Right.
And
Yeah, and
because
you can still camp there. Don't get me wrong. You can pay.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're more than happy
Yeah,
to pay. They'll let you pay.
Yeah.
I understand.
But I think one of the best ones we stayed at was probably Petoskey this year.
Yeah,
Petoskey, Michigan was amazing.
we splurged at a Jellystone. We had never been to a Jellystone, and we wanted to spend a month in Petoskey, which, if you're not familiar, Petoskey, Michigan, high season in the summer, tough, expensive.
Yeah.
So we splurged more than we normally would spend. We do that once or twice a year.
Okay.
And it was a resort,
Mhm.
which we don't typically do resorts, but it was so nice. It was a wonderful campground,
Mhm.
very family friendly. Obviously, it was Jellystone. There were kids just everywhere, and we like that. We like the vibe that brings on the weekends when you have all the families come in. We love partaking in that from a distance. It's just a really good feeling. It was centrally located. We absolutely loved it. Our next favorite campground, and we're a little partial, and this is in Michigan too. We spent a lot of time in Michigan because Rich is from Michigan. We just moved my parents to Michigan, so everybody's in one place. So when we're outside of Detroit, we stay at Camp Dearborn, which many RVers have no idea about Camp Dearborn, but it's like staying in a park, and it is a park.
Nice.
I mean, and it's a beautiful park, and you get a big site, and it's just one of our favorite campgrounds.
And it's only 30 minutes from downtown Detroit. It's 30 minutes from downtown Ann Arbor. It's 30 minutes from downtown Lansing. So if you want to visit the southeastern Michigan area,
right,
that's a good place.
It's an amazing place to stay, because then when you go back to the campground, you feel like you're completely
you're in a park, you're in the woods, and it's reasonably priced. And then our other favorite park, I grew up in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, and we went back last year, first time in 30 years for me, and I stayed in Tarpon Springs at Hickory Point RV. Again, not inexpensive in season, but it's right on the intercoastal, right on the water. Not on the Gulf, but it's on the water. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful park. All the sites have crushed shell on them, which is just kind of cool. And the park is really wonderful. They're always doing things. They're trying to get people together in the evenings. They have coffees. It's just a really, really great park. It's one of my favorite. We're going back there in 24 for a couple weeks. So.
Yeah, that's a really good. Okay, here's a question. Have you guys ever stayed at Proud Lake?
Oh
no, we have not.
Johnny Lightning knows Proud Lake. So I mountain bike at Proud Lake.
I don't know if they can fit us.
That's more of a rustic campsite that cannot fit our size of rig. But I will say Proud Lake is probably 10 minutes.
It's not very close. It's just on the other side of Milford.
Yeah, it's just on the other side of Milford from Camp Dearborn. So Johnny, it's cool that you know that area, because that's an amazing area.
Hey, while we're talking, Johnny, I do have a comment, because this is something I talk about. It's tough to cook economically when you're single. This is something we talk about a lot.
It can be. I would say this: leftovers. We are, and maybe you do that, I don't know, but Rich and I are leftover fiends. We love to cook in the evening and then have it for the lunch the next day, or even lunch the following day. We actually will cook extra most of the time so that we have leftovers, so that we're not like, oh, let's just have a sandwich, or let's do something quick. So we have more nutritious food to eat. And I like eating a hot meal sometimes at lunch. And so I would say, if you're single, and I mean, you can take almost every recipe is for 4 people minimum. Right. And so you could cut that in half and still have a couple meals out of that. And sometimes, depending on what meal you're going to cook, you can freeze the rest of it and then have it later on. It just depends what you're cooking. So you just kind of maybe think ahead what you're making and make that stretch. But yeah, we definitely love leftovers.
So Johnny's Journey, the lady that's right now in the chat, she actually goes on live after us tonight, which is fantastic. We're going to rate her later. But more importantly, she brought this concept to me too, because many times, she and her wife, they'll go camping and doing things. But many times she's in the van by herself too. And she's like, I just really hate cooking by myself or trying to figure out what to make. So it can be a bit of a stressor if you don't have some planning put together and what you're going to do and think about those things. So yeah, we've got some really cool people, and it looks like we've got more Tampa people in the house. It looks like Adrienne Bruce, she says, I'm from Tampa too. There you go.
I didn't know Ruth, I didn't know you were from Tampa. I had no idea.
There you go.
That's really cool. We're going to have something to talk about when we're in Tampa.
Yeah.
Always cool. Well, listen, I'm going to leave you guys with last comments because I could pick your brains all day. I have so many questions, so many amazing things. We could talk about sweet and savories, which I love. And of course, here we go. We have an awesome, thank you for our Smile Fund. You guys are so awesome. Oh my God, we got to do a nice thank you for you. Let's see. What do we got to do for Adrienne Ruth today? Let's do, we could do a van. Can we do a van race? Let's try a van. Ruth, you get to pick the van color. Ruth, you're white, you're winning. Woo! I love those.
That was cool. That was very cool.
Thank you so much. You were so kind. I do appreciate that. That's going to go towards, we just talked about building some ramps for some individuals who are homebound, and we're going to be helping them out. It's really, really nice for the low-income situations to get some people out, and maybe we can also teach them how to cook. I don't know. Just a thought. I love this. Well, cool. Okay. Once again, last comments of the day. Give us something. Look forward to what's coming up. We'll check out your YouTube channel. We're gonna watch your YouTube. We're gonna make a comment, but tell us something.
Hey, it sounds like we have Tampa to look forward to based on the comments that I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, and that's not very far away. That's less than about 3 months away.
We're talking about like 3-4 months away. So
well, we are super excited. In a few days, we are going to be leaving the beautiful city of Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, for Savannah, Georgia, for a month. I'm so excited to go to Savannah.
We love Savannah.
Yeah, and then after that, Tampa at some point. Yeah, so. Florida, here we come for the winter.
It goes by really fast. Before you know it, it's like 90 days away or something. You're like, what? I can't believe that.
It does. It's crazy.
It'll be Valentine's Day before we know it.
Don't even say it. We're not going there. All right, guys, if you don't mind, I am going to just once again, thank you guys for being here because it's been a wealth of knowledge. Great stuff. I can't wait to share this with more members of the community. So they can learn more about you guys and look at recipes and go there and follow their travels, guys. They've got a really amazing RV. Your kitchen tour. I'm just saying, you've got an amazing kitchen. Very nice. A little jealous there. My little band kitchen of my little teeny tiny pot. I'm good. No jealousy.
It's all you need sometimes.
Yep, it's all you need.
Just one pot. I can cook. All right, well, listen, I'm gonna put you guys in the basement. I'll be with you in just 2 seconds. If you can hold on down there, there's cookies. Just have a cookie.
Oh, awesome.
They're so sweet. They're awesome. I am just so excited, guys. Thrifty Angela made it. Hey, Thrifty, thanks so much for being here. If you guys have ever thought about, just getting on the road and having some questions on how to cook some things, they're awesome. They've got some great ideas. I love their YouTube channel. And, Blackstone is fantastic. I know, speaking of other really cool, good cooks, I know Corey from Northwoods RV Life. Can't say it right now. Northwoods RV Life. Fantastic cookbook as well when it comes to things on the Blackstone. Check that one out. You won't be shocked. He knows how to like lay it down. It's really cool. All right, guys, we're going to have a great night. We are going to raid Giant's Journey in about 20 minutes, I believe. We're going to close early tonight because, hey, it's a Tuesday and we want to go hang out and do some stuff. So we'll see you guys over at Giant's Journey in a little bit. Everyone else have a great night and we'll see you later.